Uh-oh, am I here? Uh-oh,
Yes,
my bad.
back to the
I had my
casual carnival show, where we are discussing overcoming obstacles. We got that. We got you want to do the summary for me real quick?
yeah. Let's go back to the summary. Yeah, basically what we talked about the first half is some of the obstacles we could overcome, like fear, uh new environments, you know, all types of impediment. It might be speech, it might be hearing or whatever. It might be physical, it might be mental, fear of change. Of course, we talked about communication towards the end of the show. Could that be the breakdown? The divisiveness in certain workspaces, something we touched at the that bottom part of the hour. Um, we did speak a little bit about cultural prejudices, poor communication. So we're gonna continue on, evaluate why the obstacle exists, and if you play a part in the obstacle. You want me to start that off?
I had another obstacle before we
Mm-hmm.
go. We're
Uh,
not gonna get into it.
oh, we got Richie in the building. I forgot Richie Hicks from Richie Hicks Jr.'s podcast. He's our guest tonight.
And he's not feeling, he's a little under the weather, so we
Yeah,
appreciate
he got COVID, so but he's fighting through it like a New
Yeah, moving
Yorker
some
should.
stuff out of the dryer. That's why I
it.
turned the
Biden
camera off.
Okay.
Did you go to Biden press conference? That's how you got it, because he sick.
Now, what you gonna say? The other obstacles you talking about?
No. Okay, so I know you guys talked about obstacles like at work and all those stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do a little bit more personable one. So
Mm-hmm.
one that I can say that resonates with me is being a teen mom, single mom.
Mm.
So it's like a major obstacle, and I think a lot of women face.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think when you're that young and you really have no support, you do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Is major. And I think one thing that I think people do, like even when younger people talk to me about, pregnancy, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
even like down to my case, I can't say anything, but I know what it feels like to do it alone and need support. So you know how sometimes like, oh, your kid, da 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 da. No, when you know what it feels like tonight, and I feel like people who have support or people who don't know
Yeah.
the struggle of being a single parent, like literally a single parent. I'm not talking about a single parent, but you can call this person and you can call that person, and they right there to bail you out.
You talking about being the sole parent?
Yeah, to be. I'm
Yeah,
talking about literally
the sole parent
solo.
by yourself. Yeah.
It's a different beast.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to helping people or helping younger people, I'm gonna give you a raw deal, but I'm also connect you to resources that can help you because it's not easy.
Yeah.
So for me, that was like I did it.
Yeah.
It was a difficult time, and some people be like, "Do you think your life stopped? Do you think certain things happen?" I wouldn't say that. I think my kids made me a little bit more grounded. They made me more of a hustler. I was like, had to figure out a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But and would I do it over? I don't know. I think what I went through made me who I am. Did certain things take a little longer to accomplish? Yes.
Yeah.
But I graduated. I didn't drop out of school. I didn't do any of those things. This was just the path that I had to, lead. And I think sometimes positive thinking, people be like, oh, well, you always trying to be positive. In order to get through some shit,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm not going to say you don't have that moments where you like, what am I going to do? And I've had a
Yeah.
lot of those, what am I going to do moments, like moments where I ain't had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where papers was going to come from. I didn't know none of this. And the first thing people say is, "Oh, well, it's called." Sometimes some dudes don't, and I got one. So, but that's neither here nor there because I hate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did what I had to do. So when we look at certain things that people consider obstacles, I look at it, was it an obstacle? Yes, because it brought some hardship, but it also brought a lot of great moments. And I don't think I would be the person I am right now if
Yeah.
I didn't experience that.
Yeah. I like the outfit. solo parent. I was called solo parent. It's hard. It's hard. It really is. The main thing is
No,
childcare.
no.
You got to work childcare, and who wants to watch your kids? And today, childcare costs like it costs an arm and leg back then because it's not still.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's hard because what if you can't get someone to watch your kids for you? You know,
Them jobs still gonna be like you better
it's not.
figure it
You
out.
still you got to
And I
figure it out.
always worked in
Yeah,
healthcare, so it
or
was like,
the kid gets sick.
yeah,
You getting ready for work, and then your child's sick, and you're like, dang. And you already used up your PTO, or you had called in for other reasons, and you're like, job don't want to hear what my kids say I can't come and say, well, look, we need you here, you know,
yes, we alive, Jay.
so yeah, it's yeah, bring us and I
I mean,
shouts
I
out.
thank God I had my grandmother, but my grandmother was one of those. You go to work,
Mhm.
bring your ass back.
Yeah, I
It
had my
wasn't
mother.
no you get a break. You
Mhm,
do like I don't even know what that is. So it was to the
mhm.
point when she got tough. My grandmother was the type that pick up some shifts, and then
Yeah,
as long as you're working,
yeah,
that was the only time.
yeah,
Other than that,
yeah. I had my mother. She helped me out a lot. And like it was time like I was seeing someone. It was time she was like, "Hey, you need a break," and she would let me go out with whoever, and that's when I met my youngest daughter's mother. Me and her got together, and it made it easier because with her, before we had our daughter, my kids would go over her house and chill over there because she already had two kids, so she would watch them, and the same thing if she worked, I would watch her two kids, and our kids basically bonded like brother and sister, you know. So that made it a whole lot easier. What's up, Zach? That made it a whole lot easier. But yeah, being a single parent and working is not easy.
and I think
It's
another
hard.
thing when you're young and trying to figure out parenting, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm gonna say it's safe to say there's no right or wrong way. And the one thing that I
Uh
face,
oh,
a lot of people,
my
what?
stuff, my lights are blinking.
Oh, I think a lot of people will tell me what I should do or what you need to be doing. Da 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 da. And it's like I'm dealt with these codes right here. That should sound good, but it wasn't doable. And I think a lot of times people have a tendency to tell people what they need to do and what they should do without putting themselves in that person's shoes. Not the shoes that you walk in. Take yourself out of your shoes and the resources that you have and the capabilities that you have. And then, because one, if you don't have a conversation with a person, you don't know what they were taught. What do they actually know? Do they know about going about it? Like some people, I get accused of this in my life today. I hand walk a lot of people. There's a reason why I hand walk a lot of people. I know there were times where I needed it. People be like, "Oh, do that." When I did it, I fucked the whole shit up, right? Whereas though I know if I can get you to point A, point B, by the time you get to C, you can take off on your own. I'm just going to start you, and I think that's okay. We have a tendency to think just because we know some things or we're knowledgeable or something, we expect everybody else to have the same thing, and that's not always the case. And I've been that person that just didn't know. I was just out here trying to figure it out with the kids, you know. So yeah. So I think when we see people and they going through stuff, instead of judging them, really have a conversation of certain things. Whether it could be financial literacy, saving. I mean, and even still, when you that young, all thing you know is, I got this amount of money. Kids gotta eat. Kids need clothes. Kids need shoes. We gotta get to where we gotta go. They gotta go to school. I gotta do this. Get them to grandma's house. Make sure I'm back in a certain amount of time because she's timing me. So, because I need her to keep watching these kids. But the one thing I can honestly say I didn't have, even if I could save in my mind, saving wasn't a thing. I'm just trying to make sure my kids eating. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm sorry, Bosco having a bad connection. His
Yeah, hopefully it's not a bad storm because I know once or twice on our show he was out for a little bit. I got one for you in reference to where you're going with this, Coco.
Okay.
But I want you to finish though. I don't want to cut you short at all.
No, I mean I think that's just the biggest thing, and I always when I speak to like young ladies who who may think they need a kid for completion or no, because it's a whole nother beast. Even down to my daughter. I mean, she had graduated everything, but I still had the conversation. Raising a child is not just cute, cuddly, and dressing up. It's emotional. It's a whole lot of other things that come into being a parent. And I think a lot of people can tell people what type of parent they should be, but when you have more than one kid, you can't parent each child the same way. Them personalities be completely different, and it may seem like certain kids get a little bit more. You may have to give one of them a little. It may need a little bit more than what you can. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that happens, but I just think before we look at people or look at young women who having kids and assuming the worst, sometimes just give them a resource or two. Because I know even in the work that I do, I'm always on a hunt for resources, and every patient I have is very appreciative. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, because everybody don't do that. I don't mind. I'm just gonna lighten the load, and then you helping out the child. It ain't even about the person. Some people just, I don't know. I would do a lot. I'm gonna
One
let you know.
one thing I gotta say, like my family, my mom and dad got divorced when I was about 5 years old. They co-parented well, but the grandmother is such a vital figure to a lot of single parent households because my grandmother, Coco, you hear me okay?
Yes,
Okay.
you're perfect.
My grandmother just really stepped up on a lot of ways for my mom because there's no way my mom would have been able to hold down the jobs she held down, the amount of times I got sick.
You know,
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
all right. I'm gonna go
Um,
out again, y'all,
both
because it's like
grandparents.
I'm in the dark.
Oh, damn. Okay. Um, yeah, both grandparents in different ways. On the Italian side of my family, I mean, nurturing on both sides, but more from a financial way. I had a gay godmother. She didn't have no children, but she always laced me up at Christmas. She was very maternal. I always say that if she would have been in a different era, she probably would have been a mom, but in the 80s and the 70s, she was more just trying to figure out where she fit and her acceptability into society. That's why sometimes I have a lot of bigger feelings about the community, so to speak, because I feel like they've had it better than they ever had it before.
Yeah.
But yet, I made my point earlier about people of color still fighting for like basic shit. Back to grandma, Abuela Maria de Jesus. That was my grandmother, Puerto Rican one. Grew up incredibly poor, an abusive relationship. Her, the grandfather I never met started a whole new family in Puerto Rico. But when I consider how she was able to nurture in four different ways, four different children, go out of state to make jackets for Major League Baseball teams, while also running a restaurant, while also keeping all of her kids out of the streets. To me, to say that she was a master of improvisation is beyond an understatement. And it's like I noticed with people like my grandmother, she also was orphaned at a young age in Puerto Rico. She lost both her parents at a very young age. I feel that like a lot of those old timers, they could truly make wine out of grapes in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Because just so resourceful, and no matter how difficult things are, still have a very giving nature to them. I will never quite understand when you classify all these different kinds of problems, how a person like that was able to love the way she was. I to this day I still marvel at how incredible she was.
And I think I think when you not you per se, but in general, when especially like generations before us, and even like we go through shit now, right? But just imagine what our like grandparents and everybody went. They went through obstacle after obstacle. Where so I think sometimes it felt normalized, like this was what it was supposed to be. Just like when we talk about like PTSD and all that stuff, like today,
Mhm.
and we talk about people not going outside because that's the norm. So something pleasant is abnormal. It's like far fetched. And so, and I always, and I get into a Bosco all the time. Not Bosco, not him.
Uh-huh.
Friend of mine, a friend of mine all the time.
Ready
Like
to blame me for some shit.
because we always going at it. Because
You know
we
why
had
she's doing
people,
that? Because she can't see your face. So she's like,
I
I'm gonna get
know.
him now.
Just want to see my face, man.
and then we
She's
I
had
can't see my face, man. Shoot.
no, but we have these talks, and it's kind of like when people have a certain normalcy mentally, they can't see no other way. And I hear a lot of times people like I just can't see how nobody you can't because you haven't been in there. So I think sometimes it's important take yourself out of your own shoes and put it in somebody else's. But I think that's what they went through. Which one of y'all here? Am I by myself again? Yeah, I'm by myself. So y'all got me by myself. So-
You said what?
oh, you still here?
Oh yeah, I'm in. I just can't.
Oh,
I don't. Just don't have no light, so I can't. I'm in a dark
oh,
part.
oh y'all in a blackout.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to a more positive note because that's a little depressing, right?
Oh, I'm straight
So
though.
like I think some things
Mm-hmm.
and how to overcome. So I think like something that my grandmother used to always do with me
Uh-huh.
when I used to go through like challenges is she
Yeah,
would make me, okay, what is it?
yeah.
I didn't realize what she was doing, but as I got older, she was teaching me to be analytic
Okay.
and analyze my situation for what it was and be
Yeah,
realistic. And then
yeah,
it was like I'm sitting there crying. She like, fuck that up. And on one way it was bad because it made me emotionally distant over
yeah,
time because I was like, shit, ain't no point in crying because you know what I mean? I gotta
yeah,
figure this shit out. And that's how she carried it. And but when you think about the times that they brought up in, they didn't cry, they was getting beat, they was, you know what I mean? So that little shit that I was coming out with, she like, all right, so what you gonna do?
yeah,
I mean, she would give me little jewels and things like that. I had to figure it out. So when you get into a point of having to figure it out,
mm-hmm.
you got to change that mindset of thinking nobody else can do it for you. And I felt like a lot of times when people tried to force me to make certain changes, it wasn't doable in the space that I was in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think what people think because they did something, you can do it too.
Hmm.
But everyone's situation is not the same. Like I said, I always go back to the mental part, because a lot of stuff is mental, and it's not saying the person is a bad person. It's just some people just don't have it. It's like when people say, "Why are you working for someone? Won't you start your own business?" Some people don't have that business acumen.
Yeah.
Some people just don't have it. Some people just have a can't deal with people. Don't know how to talk to people. And I don't mean talk to people like they talk to people in a bad way. Just some people just don't know how to present themselves to people,
Hmm.
and they have that fear. So everyone's situation is not the same. Just because I can do something at 60 doesn't mean someone at 25 can do it because I've been there.
Right.
So, I know how to deal with people. I know how to deal with different types of people, mad men, mad women, good men. I know all that stuff. Someone 25 might have had an easy life. So you can't say, well, go over there and tell this guy, blah, 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 blah. And this guy might be the most intimidating looking person in the world, but he may not, I mean, he may not he might look like the most intimidating person in the world, but he might be a teddy bear. But this guy who's never dealt with people may be scared to talk to this guy. Like, what am I going to say to him? He might knock the shit out of me.
Hmm.
You know?
I think also realistic are the part that you play. You
You say
ever
what?
like, you ever meet people or like you have an interview or you meet people and like on an interview they ask you about strengths and weaknesses. Some
Yeah,
people struggle in that area like because they can't fathom having a weakness.
yeah,
Or have you ever met somebody like you get to know people and you ask general questions? Have
yeah,
you ever asked somebody what their flaws are and they got offended?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I think part of that, and I want to link that to like overcoming like obstacles, is to be realistic in the part that you play and what areas you need to fix or work on.
yeah, yeah. I think. I think some people just afraid to admit their flaws, or admit their weaknesses, or whatever it may be. You know, damn, my battery about to die out too. Man, what the hell's going on with me?
Y'all about to leave me. Where the fuck is Richie?
No, I got a portable charger though.
You
So,
need to go get it.
huh?
You need to go get it.
No, I got it right here.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it right
I
here.
think that. So I
I'm like,
think.
dang.
My bad, guys. My girl got COVID real bad, so I was just doing a little sweep check on them.
Oh, y'all got it.
The little man, I'm not sure because there's no way I'd be able to tell the way he's been running around, but I've just been trying to be precautious with. That's why I was wearing the mask earlier because you know how kids are, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I took him to the parks today. I got a couple of subscribers.
Oh, the lights are back
Okay.
on.
Well, I hope y'all feel
The
better.
lights are back on.
Oh yeah, he's back, back like Christ. Just chill. Anyway,
Real man. Second coming.
Not wasn't you? All right. So I think the other thing, and you probably hear me say this a lot. It's okay to feel when you're going through those moments and those times. I was taught,
Uh-huh.
and we always know to hide my feelings or to persevere, or you know how they say never let people know what you're going through.
Yeah.
that makes two of us, Coco, for sure, for sure.
But I think it's important. It's okay to feel human emotion because I think that helps you in the long run. Because when I flick my emotion, not my emotion, my
Mhm.
feelings back on. And so if I'm feeling fucked up today, and I call you and tell you I'm having a bad day. This
Yeah.
is going on, and X, Y, and Z. I think it's okay to have those human feeling moments to get through whatever it is. Because when you bottle them up,
Yeah.
it ain't. That's not healthy. It's not good.
You know what? I found when I got older, the older I got, and I realized this when my relatives when they got older, the older I got, the more I didn't give a shit, and the more I felt like I could do anything. It just I guess I gained a confidence that I didn't have when I was younger. I had a lot of confidence, but I kind of like watched what I said and watched what I did sometimes. But when I got older, when I started turning 50, I got to the point where you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm gonna tell you how I feel,
Hmm.
and I'm just gonna do things my way because it's my life. Like my nieces always saying, "Man, why is this so easy for you?" I said, "It's not the point that it's easy." I said, "I just don't give a shit no more." I said, "For all my life, I always try to, talk to people a certain way because of this." I said, and with the way things are changing, now I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna go back to how I used to be when I was growing up in New York. I'm tell you how I feel. If you can't deal with it, that's your insecurity. But I'm gonna go and give it to you. I'd rather give it to you raw, give you the truth, than sugarcoat shit, and you walk around thinking, yeah, everything's all good. And I'm gonna tell you, that shit's fucked up.
I
And
wanted when you're done, Idris. I want to interject a question to
oh,
both
that was
you.
it. That was it.
It's more like an advice question because you guys are biological parents.
Hmm.
Where I'm in my second tour of duty, so to speak, as trying to be a stepfather to the same child.
Yeah.
So I have this is an advice question for
Hmm.
brother and sister question to both of you.
Hmm.
Um, do you guys have any particular advice? I mean, Idris, you know me on a very personal level. We talk about a
Yeah.
lot of life stuff. I
Yeah.
haven't talked to Coco in a minute off here that I gotta do better with keeping more in touch.
Yes, because we're siblings.
Indeed, according to my mother, we are.
Yeah.
Indeed. And yes, we are. Um, any advice in general of just how to be the most consistent step parent you could be? Ultimately, a father's a father, blood don't separate those things. But I guess what I'm trying to say is me and my guy Noah is quite beautiful how close we are getting on the father
Hmm.
and son tip. And I'm very grateful for that.
Hmm.
But at the same time, there were 3 years in between where we weren't in each other's lives because of a breakup and things of that nature, things that happened. And it's almost like you're catching up, but you're also going fast too because there's a lot to do, so to speak, in terms of building him up. And
Hmm.
to Coco's point about how difficult it is to be a single mom. And I know that my girl went through a lot of things when I wasn't around. you know. So
You
I guess
can't.
what a
It's
generalized
easy.
question is,
It's
I don't
easy.
know.
You can't change the past.
Right.
And
Exactly.
like I'm trying not to give it away. Like even when I'm talking to people, in my daily. The one thing I think a lot of times what we try to do is we try to go back when we think we missed time. We
Mm-hmm.
try to go back and act like we can fix whatever happened in the past, and then play catch up. That's time wasted because you
Yeah.
can't fix it. It happened.
Can do it. Yep.
The only thing you can do is deal with today and take it one day at a time. Whatever I get, you can if they express it to you, be present
Mm-hmm.
and be intentional, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be consistent. And I think especially when it comes to children, is consistency, and especially when they have a respect or liking to you in a way, or in the role that you're taking, you can't change whatever happened. That's what
Understood.
happened. You can.
In my particular case, it's like never pushed on him, but he calls me dad for the first time since he was just learning words and naturally called me dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, I basically co-raised him for the first 3 years of his life. We had a breakup. I'm back in now, and
Mm-hmm.
he calls me dad. And I'm not gonna bullshit either one of you. It's a little intimidating from time to time because it comes with a different layer of responsibility. But it's also when things are good, it's quite a joyful feeling. I must admit.
I'll
Hmm.
tell you this from a father standpoint and one who's a stepdad. Like when I like my my daughter's mother, her kids call me Pop because when I met them, the youngest one, he was basically a baby. The other one's 2 years old,
Oh wow.
and
Okay.
and they called me Dad. I said call me Pop because I didn't know if the father was coming. I know in your situation about his father. I said call me Pop. They said why? I said because I'm really not your father, but I want to be, you know, I want to
Right.
do what I had to do. So now,
Right.
like my daughter's friends, my granddaughter's friends, my grandson's friends, everyone calls me Pop
Okay.
because none of them got fathers,
Mm-hmm.
so they all see me as their father or their grandfather or that male person.
Male
Like
figure.
Coco said,
Absolutely.
yeah, you can't make up for with the past. Cause the time you doing to try to make up for the past, you're wasting that time that you can build for the future.
I appreciate the honesty, both of you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So I would with him as a man, first those I mean, because I know you and Jen's future. Because you told me. Which y'all got planned.
Yeah, we'll see.
I would stop looking at it as being a stepfather. Because you was there when that kid basically came out the womb and you've been there most of the time.
And
Because
it
you
was
already
and it
know
was
about
an
the
interesting transition because her and I have been involved, so to speak, forever, but we've always been friends.
yeah, don't see yourself as a step parent.
Well,
Be
you are
be a
you.
dad. That's it. Be a dad.
So
That's
And
do
it.
what I'm doing.
I mean, if that's pretty much way like something like when my kids are grown now, but when
Mm-hmm.
they were younger and I was with my ex,
Mm-hmm.
him and my youngest son, they had a bond because he,
Mm-hmm.
it was different. He was never really like around his dad, right? But he knew that wasn't his father, but it was something about that presence or just be
Mm-hmm.
who you are. He didn't try to fake and be something that he not. It wasn't like he was like, hey, I'm trying to fit this role. Don't think too much on the title.
Right.
But just know that he's grown to you because of who you are genuinely
Exactly.
in his life, and he will
Thank you.
continue to do that. So even as he gets older, and he can, because I know like when my kids got older, they went around who they wanted to. Okay, and if this is the person that I'm gonna keep in contact with, regardless of what happened with you, her, or anything like that moving forward, that child is gonna remember you, and then he'll get to an age and to a point where he can keep that going despite what happens. But for right now, I would just be very intentional and be who you were, who he fell in love with, who he built a bond with, and leave it at that because you're giving him something that he needs as a man. I can't speak for all of that, but I do know
You're right.
the
You're right.
significance of having that male role model. So you are the dad figure, and guess
When I
what?
when I think about who my father was to so
Mm-hmm.
many people who weren't his kids, because
Mm-hmm.
my father was the kind of cop that went into the projects
He,
Yeah, the neighborhood cop.
outside of this
and he
about
didn't just see it. He didn't just see it as, oh, I got to clock in and clock out. You know, he took a vested interest in the lives of a lot of kids who didn't have fathers.
And see, Richie, your father grew up in the era where when the cop walked down the street, we were like, "Yo, what up?"
Right,
because he
right. And
was
my
that.
father
Yeah,
had the healthy. My
Excuse me,
father had
Richie.
the healthy kind of respect on the street because he treated people the right way.
yeah. If he see you doing something,
Richie.
else, look, don't do that again. You
Hello,
know.
hello,
Yeah.
Richie. I know I ain't never met him, but he L forward. Oh, our father. We are siblings.
Man, this is gonna open up a whole nother thing. But
Hey, hold on. Before you say something, um, I'm gonna tell you how close I am with all those kids who call me Pop. Their mothers, they call me Pop because they see me as a. And like a couple of them do have their fathers. One got came home from prison. Another one just popped up. They call me Pop in front of their fathers. That's the type of relationship I built them. And the father like, whatever, because they know y'all wasn't here. I was being the dad and the granddad to y'all's kids, to y'all's daughters, and to y'all's sons when y'all were locked up or y'all were running the street selling drugs. I was there. My daughter's best friend, her kids call me Pop. She calls me Pop. Yo, what's up, Pop? They all, cause see, that's why I said, don't see yourself, don't be enamored with the title of being stepdad. Be a dad to him. Cause see, that's what he wants you. That's why he calls you that. And that's how he sees
and I'm gonna
you.
put
That's what you
myself on
gotta
a
be.
personal blast. I'll make it quick.
Hmm.
I don't want to cheat too much of the time. I'm just gonna say this.
You know how we do with you.
We
No,
going to
obstacles. That's one point.
no, we're
Richie,
doing something that I'm actually kind of proud of.
Richie get on the show. We take over the show. You got to reel us back in, Coco.
We've been through a lot. Her and I have been through a lot on a lot of levels together.
Yeah,
She was with me when my father died.
yeah,
She spent her birthday and my father's death are one day apart. She spent her birthday driving me around because I had the illest hangover I ever had in my life.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say is we're taking a step as a couple to go to therapy together because we want to get past some of the things
yeah,
that we have wronged each other on.
yeah.
And
Jail's
I'll
cool.
raise my hand and say that as a man, I put her through a lot the first time. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
I ain't worried about what she did because I think when you're trying to be accountable, you can't try to be right. You want to be better.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and
Learn
and
from the
I'm just
past to make the future better.
yeah, and I'll tell you the truth.
Can I read a comment?
For
Uh huh.
him, for Noah, I
No, no,
I
no.
I I, I also want to do that because I want him to not have any memory that even gets entangled with arguing because I do know that my late father and my mother, who's thankfully still here, unfortunately, I've seen too many fights. And I know that each of them, if they could tell you right now, would tell you that they regret that. So I'm going to make sure that I don't make those mistakes and hone some of that in. So I'm just calling myself out
That's cool,
because
man.
that's what it is. I can't say I'm being real if I'm not talking about my own shit, right?
While Coco reads this comment, I want you to see something, Richie.
Oh Lord, here we go with the bullshit.
Those Century socks, man.
Yeah, those are dope, bro. I gotta
Think
get.
about, think about. I got those. I got those like in 2020 though.
Really?
Yeah, when I
Can
was
you
in
not
New
do
York.
that anymore?
The Century socks, man.
Yeah, because you wasn't sure if the world was gonna end, so you want to make
Yeah,
sure you
yeah.
got
That's why
them
I got them.
just in case.
Go ahead, Coco. Read the comment.
Don't do that no more.
What this? The Century socks.
Hmm.
Do it like the movie. Do it like the movie credits. Now, go ahead. Read the comment.
Okay, so a comment from home. I was with a woman for nine. I was with a woman with 9 kids. The younger ones I had an awesome relationship with. The older ones were quite disrespectful for a while. My consistency with the younger ones slowly rubbed off on the older ones. It is. It still wasn't an awesome relationship with them though, and I think that's pretty significant for. That's an obstacle for people with multiple kids. And I think it's always with the younger ones is usually they gravitate. They don't really decipher a lot.
Mr. Paul deserves a medal.
You
Yeah.
ain't lying.
But I think part of that is also older children tend to when we think children are not aware, they're
Hmm.
very much aware.
Hmm.
And it may not have been anything per se towards him. It could have been something that they witnessed, something that they knew. A lot of things we think kids are not knowledgeable of, and they're very knowledgeable and can comprehend and very
Yeah.
comprehensive. and that spills over to the other ones, and they probably not ready to accept something, or it could have been a situation you don't know about. But the younger ones, all they know, oh yeah, this person is nice, cool, and then they gravitate. Me personally, dating, I don't be really want to meet nobody kids, and I can't. I prefer. My preference is not to deal with people with smaller children because of that connection. And then when you start meeting kids, you're not only dating a person, you are dating that. You take because you're
absolutely
with them. And then if shit goes south, I know how I am. I'm loving, and I have a big heart. But it's like, damn, I can't see the kids over what I done grew with. You know what I mean? I done grew attached and all of this other stuff. That's like a big thing. So I like them. I like them when they're kids as adults.
Yeah, or close to it.
Yeah, and from a personal level, just a little tidbit about a little part of the bond. We have a deep bond, Noah and I. When my father passed away, he was looking forward to meeting Noah because it happened kind of quick. At first, he thought it was my kid, and he was like, "Whoa, wait a minute." he really just naturally assumed he was my son because our baby pics are scary similar.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Coco,
go ahead.
Coco, you ever seen Bronx Tale?
Mm-hmm.
Richie looks just like when he was a little kid. And his
he's
father
not
like
lying.
Robert De Niro. Because when I first
lying.
met Richie, and I didn't know Richie was maybe a month. He posted that picture. I said, "Look at little C. It looks just like Robert De Niro in Colosimo on the Bronx Tale."
It was.
No, I can't unsee it.
But
I cannot unsee it.
But the thing is, right?
Just like,
me and my dad were tight. Like that was like my best friend. So like when he had passed, Noah was just new to my life, and I must admit that being in that position of a boy that just like thought you walked on water, I didn't even think I deserved that kind of accolade, but he always loved me from jump. It kind of got me through probably the toughest year and a half, 2 years of my life. Year and a half, 2 years of my life. And, truth be told, we have an incredibly strong bond. But one thing I do know is that it ain't some interchangeable thing. I think you guys are aware that, Jen and I unfortunately lost one. We were pregnant for a little bit, but it's Noah or nothing, man, because truth be told, he's my son. And it's like, I don't even, I love him on the level that if I never had a biological one, it would mean literally nothing because that's what I think about him.
I'm the big uncle.
You want to try again?
Yeah. No, I don't want to ever put her through that again because truth be told, with some of her health challenges, it just wouldn't be fair.
And also, man, you wouldn't have no money to go to Giants games, man. They call it. Kids call
you're not lying, man. Yeah. And then you run that risk if like they go awry and become a Raven fan or a Patriot fan.
Right there,
weird on you.
Yeah.
What happened?
Freaking Dolphin fan or something like that. Being in Florida, Dolphins and all.
No, we good. Party of 3, we're good.
I got lucky. My youngest daughter's a Giants fan. I was like,
thank God.
My oldest is a freaking
49 are amazing, like I said, and that's that on that.
Who?
Patriot fan.
Morena's a Patriots fan.
What?
Morena's a hardcore Patriots fan.
That's sis.
And I got to give it to her. She became one before they got, like the year they won the Super Bowl. She rooted for them the beginning of that year.
I want to start a GoFundMe for Coco to go to next year's NFL draft because next year y'all going to be picking first, so it's going to be kind of important.
GoFundMe.
You notice how she didn't. You notice how she didn't argue with me that they're going to be picking first.
Where's it next year? You know?
I gotta find out.
Yeah, find out. Where we going?
Yeah, we're gonna send Coco because it's not every year that you pick first, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but you guys are picking first next year.
Yeah.
A little bit. But I'll be honest, and I'm not trying to be an asshole. Y'all got the worst team in the NFL going into this year.
That's
okay. That's okay.
I don't care.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, y'all got Matt Jones.
I'm sorry, I mean.
Well, they used to.
Matt Jones.
I take that back because we talking about
Matt Jones too. Yeah. That's an obstacle.
Nah.
So good. Matt Jones.
That's not Matt Jones too.
Who Matt
Jones? Volume
2. He's trying to say that Drake May is gonna be another Mac Jones.
Nah, he won't. He won't.
I think we're gonna.
And in case I got the COVID twang, I'm not talking about Swisher House. I'm talking about Mac Jones, the quarterback, not Mike Jones.
Not Mike Jones. Nah, I think he'll be better than Mac Jones. But
And you know how I feel about him. I don't fucking sure at all. I keep forgetting his name on purpose.
But I do like Gerard Mayo, being
I
serious.
do.
I do like the hire. I respected him as a ball player. I feel that if he didn't retire, he would have been a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we will be doing our AFC East preview in the second week of August. Just letting y'all know.
Can I come?
Absolutely. But I'm just letting you know. Well, at least you got Brett there, so you got somebody to cry with.
Yeah.
No mercy, Coco. No mercy, Coco.
We're gonna surprise a lot of people.
No mercy.
Just because, watch, mark my words. What's today's date?
Today is the 17th of July.
July the 17th. I'm telling y'all, we're not gonna be as trash as y'all thought. We was some shit last year, but we're not gonna be none of that. Watch, mark my words. Mark my words.
All right.
Mark my words.
They're gonna overcome them obstacles, right?
9:45.
I'm joking.
Okay.
I think you're gonna overcome the obstacles, right? Nah, I'm joking.
We are overcoming the obstacle of
moving right along.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna leave that sports talk. Next topic. 4 and 13. Continue, Idris.
Damn, Richie.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm just being honest. I'm
I'm
trying to be an asshole. I'm just being honest, bro.
We give him 5 games.
This what we're gonna do.
5 and 12.
So are we all going together?
We can.
We'll figure it out. Yeah?
We gotta find out where it is first.
Well, I'm going to my brother's house anyway. My
see what
I come to the cookout.
We got a long time. We got a whole season to go, and we're gonna find out. But
I'm gonna be for that. Mommy said I gotta come. I already told her. She said me I'm coming to the cookout. She gonna send me the dates and the addresses, and I gotta come.
Yeah, she's like gotten so popular in her later years.
Well, your mom's?
Yeah, she stopped working. Now she just got real cool.
Yeah, your mom became a celebrity.
Well, she was always cool. She just didn't let me understand how cool she was back then.
Oh yeah, we done already signed the adoption papers and everything. She's mom.
Yeah, she's something.
Okay, so what we got next? Okay, another thing. Going back to overcoming obstacles, then that's out the way. This is something I'm gonna go from top to bottom only because I like this one, and I literally just had to have a pep talk with somebody about it. So when you're going through, it's okay. Or like let's say Boscoe's going through something, right? Mm-hmm. And we see it. He not asking for help, but we see it. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay to help and offer help to someone you know needed without expectations of reciprocation.
Absolutely. And because if you're helping for any other reason, then don't bother.
But there are people who will be like, but I did this and I did. So you did it with the expectation of reciprocation. That person may not be in a situation to reciprocate. So if you're going to do something, do it out the kindness of your heart.
The only reciprocation I would ever want for giving somebody help is having the same ear I lend to them, because that shit's for free.
Yeah.
And it ain't never about money. If I got it, my boys got it. Yeah. Anybody important to me got it.
And his sister.
Because we ain't dying with that shit. Right. And my sister.
Yeah, man, this is so true. The other one was be realistic in a plan. Like, okay, so I'm gonna go back to the conversations like when I would go through things and I would have to tell my grandmother. She's like, so what you gonna do? It wasn't for me to think about. Mm-hmm. It was for me to tell her what my plan was. And she would tell me, that's dumb. That's because it was not realistic. Okay. Sense. So I think it's okay to develop a plan that makes sense. It has to be realistic. Like nobody's going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to find me a job and I'm making $300,000 a year." That's not. You're not going to do that tomorrow unless you get lucky, right? Most people work their way up, or you got to end or whatever. So it was like, okay, you can't do that. How you going to do that with them? Because I'm only watching them while you work. And I literally had to work my way up to where I am now. Did it go a little slower? Yes, but I did develop a plan. Even when I did pick up, I picked up another job where I did like weekend options. So I was technically working 2 full-time jobs, but one was just all weekend, and one was like during the week. So I really wasn't off, but I needed to do what I needed to do to get a better place for me and my children, right?
Yeah.
And you should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, that's what I had to do. So, but I had to be realistic, and part of that was also telling people. And sometimes when you see people try to give you advice, and you know that shit don't make no sense for you, it sounds good for them. And I think it's okay to tell people, well, and I tell people all the time, this is a suggestion. You don't have to use it because you have to formulate it to your life, and that's okay.
Yes.
It may not be for right now, but somewhere down the line, that may be a way that you can do some things. The thing that I dislike is when people are like, no, just do X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z is not going to fit into my current.
Yeah.
You gotta wear the shoes. I always say that. I love that saying. You always gotta wear the shoes. Because even if I disagree with somebody, or sometimes I flat out just don't like somebody, I still keep that empathy because I say to myself, you still gotta wear the shoes.
Right on.
And I think never say never, or what could never, or what you never will do,
True.
or what will never. And nobody knows when that deck gets shuffled, how them cards gonna fly in front of your face. So you just gotta deal with the cards that you dealt. So I think never say never. I'm one of them type of people. I always expect the unexpected, and I think sometimes seeing too far ahead, doing something like if I'm going through something, I'm like, what can I do right now? I'm able realistically to help this get better. So every day I can revamp. Like I was tell Boscoe all the time, I'm gonna redo my goals this week, right? Every week I set forth goals to get to whatever it is I need to be. So if I run into an obstacle, that didn't work. So what's my plan B? And I'm even like that with my people. I'm like, okay, we're gonna doing your plan A, B, C, D, E. If this don't work, what we doing next?
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to accept no. And I think a lot of us like the finagle in the gray areas. I don't like gray areas. It's either A or B. We going to avoid the gray because we're not going to dance too long in that.
Yeah, because the gray doesn't have a destination and it doesn't have a direction and it really doesn't have any clarity.
True that.
I like it. I like it a lot. You explain that well.
The other one is be willing, which a lot of us have issues with, and me myself at times, be willing to accept help.
Yeah. I think that's the problem I have is asking for help.
Yes.
Yeah, I had that problem big time. I'll try to do something until I just can't do it no more. Until I'm like at the bottom.
Well, let me say this on the air, and I say this on a regular conversation. That brother shit goes both ways, Idris, and I have a lot of respect for you because to me you're a king. You're a man's man.
I appreciate
every way, every possible way. But you know as well as I do that a couple of times over the course of the last couple of years, if you get like a little distant, sometimes I might go to her as the mediator, make sure that you're good.
Yeah.
Because it's not natural, especially for us men, to always be like that, because I ain't trying to freak you out either.
Yeah.
But understand one thing, and this is official for as long as we know each other.
Yeah.
Don't even if it's just something as simple as an ear. Don't go at anything that's a little too heavy alone because your brother's here.
Oh, I know. Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Just want to make that clear.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I appreciate it. No doubt. Because
trust me, you drop a lot of jewels to me, bro. Like believe that. I call you big brother for a reason.
Yeah.
He alright.
See, Coco be talking shit.
I know. You know what it is, bro? You know what it is? Because I think it's just a little bit of a sibling jealousy.
It's them obstacles she can't overcome.
Nah, it's a sibling jealousy, bro.
A little bit, because you grew up differently from me.
It's a sibling jealousy because you know how like we don't like have to like officially like say things. Like she's been doing it more. So personally, I believe that like, she's like, maybe you're giving Idris a little too much attention. Like I get stressed out too. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think you might be getting like a little bit of a sibling thing because I believe if this was like
I'm the middle child. That's what I do.
Yeah, you would be the middle child, and that's usually a tough place to be. I mean, now, if your Patriots can make it to the middle, I would call that an overachievement.
And I bet you we will.
Oh Lord,
We gonna see.
I ain't say we going to the Super Bowl because I'm not delirious.
The Super Bowl. You better buy tickets.
No, I said I'm not gonna say we all, but I ain't saying that.
Super Bowl.
The toilet bowl.
Going there, but I don't think we're going there. I ain't going there. I'm not that. I'm not that.
You better watch America's game. You better get one of them Patriot DVDs. You got 6 of them. You better get one of those.
We're not going there, but I'm telling you, I think we're gonna do better than what people think.
I think you're a very optimistic person.
I am. And today is July 17th. Mark my words. When it happens, I want to be the special guest with the crown and all of this stuff.
Oh, we got you. We're gonna have a special intro for you too and everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast AFC East preview next month, we will use this clip on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We got 2 Patriot fans for the preview because my boy Brett, diehard Patriot.
Brett.
That's gonna be interesting.
Brett's diehard.
And I want all of my apologies. I want all my accolades. I want everything.
This might actually work out for Brett's benefit because if you weren't there, Zappy gonna go to squash Brett. He might show him some mercy now.
Yeah. He might show some mercy now. Cause Brett, we eat Brett up.
Brett about had an aneurysm when I told him 2 years ago who Sauce Gardner was gonna be. He almost came out.
Oh man, he about.
Oh, he went flip mode, bro. And I told him the other day on the phone. Now, mind you, his daughter is my goddaughter. I've known this man for like 20 years.
Oh, Brett.
I said, Brett, all unofficial, your Patriots are going to be hot dog shit this year. You guys are going to be like 3-14, 4-13, something terrible.
Such a hater.
He said, fuck you, and hung up the phone. So angry. Such an angry little man.
That's Brett, too.
Yeah, I was like the same thing. That's who does that.
Angry little man.
We good. Watch. Mark my words.
Yeah, Brett used to be Skip Bayless. I used to be Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. They had some moments.
Oh, that was
and now with
I know who you're talking about. Okay.
And now with some of the material going on, because I was kidding around. Shouts out Keith Woolrich. I was kidding around, telling them the dynamic in a playful manner. I said, bro, with all this stuff going on in Washington, I said Idris and Zappy might get irritated with each other occasionally, and I can see if Idris is going on one of them rants. Zappy's up and like, put your glasses on.
But that would be actually awesome, though.
The way that Skip tried to play Unc, I was like, oh, hell no. He has no idea how lucky he was that Unc didn't come over that table and give him a backbreaker.
Because Zappy is like the calm, condescending, shade that she don't think nobody catching. And then it's like, oh, he tried it.
No, Zappy's funny. Let me tell you something. I am very thankful. I am very thankful for the characters that I have on my show.
Zappy's funny as shit.
But Boscoe be like, when he get Boscoe with a good one, Boscoe be like, okay. He's like,
you got me. I don't try to fight. You got me. I ain't gonna fight it.
Yeah, one morning we did a morning show.
Richie Hicks Sports Podcast. That's what we're talking about. Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast is amazing.
Yeah, it's been a rough month. Numbers been taking a little bit of a hit. I'll be honest, tell everybody the truth. But NFL's around the corner.
No, you know why? It's a lot of stuff with the election and everything else is taking up the
Absolutely. And I just want to say one quick thing about that. I don't care which way you vote. Guys, I don't give two damns which way you vote. All I ask is please do not lose friendships over this bullshit.
Right.
Who the independent?
Me.
Oh,
I'm independent.
Yeah.
I'm in. Oh, we don't have an independent candidate, I don't think.
Ain't that some shit?
We got time, Idris. We got time. You'll be able to, whichever candidate you don't want to win, we can start a rally for you and you can hurt the losing candidate. Make sure that somebody wins.
Yeah.
But my God, how we have fallen. This is wild, man. Have you guys, did you guys talk about any of that went down when they took a shot at the Donald? I was just curious what you guys
I watched it. No, we didn't talk about it because he's overcoming the obstacle of being shot in the air graves. But okay, so this is my synopsis.
I still think Bronny James shot at him. He's the only one.
Bronny, you think it was Bronny? Yeah, Bronny's the only one that can miss that easy of a shot. It had to be Bronny.
Bronny, he had something to do with it.
Now, if we were throwing a football, Mac Jones would have probably hit like that weird dude in the top hat. But
No, he
Hit the
wouldn't have
woman.
even grazed the
Hit the
air. It
woman that
went
was hiding
somewhere else
behind him.
and hit somebody in the background. So we gonna leave him where he at. All for our sake.
oh
So
my
what you gonna
god,
say, Coco?
wild times.
We got how many minutes left?
Oh, 9. You want to take us?
Oh, it's not. We got another minute.
I ain't coming in
We
on
got
damn Dolphins, Paul.
Oh no,
You
we ain't got a minute. We got
crazy?
like a few seconds.
Oh, you just cursed me all the way out.
What? Oh yeah. Paul's a Dolphin fan. He's a Dolphin fan. Now I know it's time to close the show. Anyway, y'all, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Captain Convo Show. Watch every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. Spotify, handradio.org, Facebook, Instagram. We are everywhere. Just Google us, man. Thanks to Paul, J Bear, Jude, Dr. Doug, Lamont. Who else showed up in the building?
J Bear.
Yeah, I say J Bear. Mr. Ravens fan. Thank you for Richie Hicks Jr. on the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast for tuning in to my other homie.
Mike was here.
Shouts out to him. Get your Ham Radio merch, hamradio.org/shop. Get it. Get your hoodies. Get your hats. Get your shirts. Good quality. They don't shrink. The design is dope because it got like the Ham Radio. It fades to gold. It's nice.
I'm gonna get me one of those. I'm gonna get me a hoodie.
Yeah, it's nice, dude. It's nice. Good quality shirt, man. Check me out from 10 to 12 Monday to Wednesdays on hamradio.org. I'm playing everything. We usually get down with that house till lunchtime. That nice house music going down. Check me out also from 6 to 8 p.m. on hamradio.org. For Richie Hicks, me, Boscoe from the Bronx, and Coco, who's always bad, for Rich from the Boards. We are out till next Wednesday, y'all. Peace.
Open discussion next week.
Open discussion next week, y'all. We out. Peace. Skeet, 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 skeet. We out.